I am where I am because I had people that believed in me. I am where I am because I didn't stop when it got hard. I am where I am because I refused to remain where I was. I chose to have a different life. I accepted that the unfamiliar could be better than anything that I have ever gone through. I don't accept doing things that make me feel comfortable. I do things that empower me to grow. I do things that empower me to be different, to step outside of my comfort zone, not to eventually arrive at a point, but to live and die by a system of core values that no matter where I am or what I'm doing or what circumstances I fall under, what I choose to live by is never going to change. Accepting mediocrity, that's what you thought. Accepting being anything less than myself, that's what you thought. But no matter what you thought or what you think, I am not what you say I am. I'm what I say I am. And I am who I choose to be. And I know that whoever I am is going to be tested, right? I know that it's going to be tested so I can show myself proven. How many of you all can agree? How many days have looked the same for you? How many times have you wanted to change? What did you do when it got tough? How many promises have you made to yourself? Listen, the greatest demonstration of self-love, courage, and resilience is the ability to remain and stay vulnerable with the world and allow yourself to be seen. But you can't just fake it just because it sounds good. You have to be strong when they don't expect you to be, right? Because you don't get what you wish for. You get what you work for. You don't get what you deserve. You get what you earn. You see? Life is going to give you what you put into practice. Your life is a reflection of daily habits. Life shrinks or expands to the proportion of your courage. And everything that I do is dedicated to the pursuit of me getting better and more courageous. I'm not here to motivate you. I'm here to be transparent with you, right? And I choose to talk about matters while they're still bleeding so you can feel my pain, so you can feel my courage as I go through these things. A lot of people talk about situations when they're so far removed from the situation, when matters happened so long ago. But no, the toughest thing that you've ever been through throughout your whole life works simultaneously like a cyclical revolving roller coaster or pendulum. A pendulum can only swing but so far. It can only swing but so far. There's good days and then there's bad days. There's trials, there's pain, and then there's happiness, and there's joy, and there's peace, and there's prosperity, and there's more suffering, and there's more pain, and there's more growth or stagnation. But you have to choose. How are you going to govern your life? Are you going to govern it by a system of core values that you are going to die by? Things that you are not going to compromise for anyone or anything? Or are you going to always be like a feather wavering in the wind? Just going through the motions in life. Being influenced by every single thing or every single person that you have no true grounding on your own identity, your own values. Because you cannot live a pain-free life. You can't live a life full of positivity and a life full of pure happiness and everything is okay and we're just blissful in the sun for the rest of our lives. That's not a reality. That's not a reality. Because it took those painful experiences, it took those trials, it took those nights when you cried yourself to sleep, it took those moments when you didn't think that you were going to make it. It took those times when you were almost about to get evicted. It took those times when you were almost about to lose your job. It took those times when you did lose your job. It took those times when you just ended a relationship. It took those times when you did not think that you were going to make it, when you challenged yourself and you looked yourself in the mirror and you asked yourself, is this the end for me? Is this the moment, that defining moment when I'm going to choose to live or I'm going to choose to die? And if you're still breathing today, and if you still continue after that relationship, if you still continue after that job, if you still continue after those moments when you cried yourself to sleep at night, and you kept going, and you're on another chapter in your life, that means that you had values, you had primary influence in your heart that you chose not to compromise and that you chose to hold on to or even create, that was worth more than that temporary circumstance. And that growth that happened over that time period, that temporary time period, is exactly what needed to happen so you can elevate yourself to another level. But it doesn't stop there. That's not the end of your story. Things may be great right now. Things may be peachy. Things may not be peachy. Things may not have been what it has always cracked themselves up to be in your mind. You may not be living the most ideal life. You may be comfortable right now, but not exactly where you want to be ultimately. But give yourself some perspective. Give yourself perspective on where you were and where you're going. And decide right here in this present moment what truly matters. What truly matters? Is it your values that matter, or is it that your life isn't in alignment yet with what you thought it was going to be? Are you going to suffer in silence? Are you going to suffer out loud? Are you going to suffer every single day asking yourself, why isn't my life looking like I wanted it to be? Who am I really? How am I defining myself in this moment? These are the questions that you must ask yourself to give yourself a perspective on what you truly think of yourself. Stop punishing yourself so much. Don't punish yourself for not being where you want to be ultimately. Start thinking about where you were back then. Yes, you don't have everything that you want to have in life. But who does? Who does? Let me explain. There is a difference, in my opinion, there is a difference between setting goals and creating systems. You see, when you set a goal for your life, when you have a goal that you want to achieve, you work yourself up to achieve that goal. You want to learn whatever it is that you need to learn. You want to earn whatever you need to earn. You want to make the type of money you need to make. Whatever you need to do in order to achieve whatever goal you're set out to accomplish. Right? So you're on this track record where you're giving yourself an illusion of start to finish, to where you're starting from your current position and then you're finishing when you accomplish that goal, right? And then you're off to the next goal, and then the next one, and then the next one, or what have you. So essentially, goals have a finishing point. They have a point where it says, I've accomplished this milestone in my life. But systems, to live and die by a system of core values, that means that rain, sleet, or snow, no matter what life looks like and no matter who's in my life right now or who isn't, no matter what job I have or what job I do not have, no matter how many times I cry myself to sleep at night or how many times I sleep peacefully, no matter what is happening, all right? External circumstances, it doesn't matter. Because when you are following a system, a continuous system of practices in your life, the goal doesn't matter that much. You may still cross a couple of milestones that you set out to accomplish, but when you are living and dying by a system, that's more defining as to who you are. So for an example, let's just say you have a goal, a fitness goal that says, I want to lose 15 pounds by the end of this month. That's a goal. So your diet changes, your eating habits change, your workout regimen evolves. Those type of things are all in conjunction with making sure that you lose this 15 pounds by the end of the month. And then when you do, your goal is accomplished. And that finish line has now been crossed. Congratulations, you did it. But a system is saying, I'm going to pursue a healthier life. I'm going to choose to be more fit. I want to pursue a healthier lifestyle. I want to be conscious as to what I put in my body. I'm going to choose what times I eat and what times I don't eat, what times I work out and what times I don't work out, what times or or putting in place things that you're going to do continuously, like no matter what, like regardless of if you're trying to lose pounds or if you're trying to slim down or even gain weight. It's, I want to live a life based off of good fitness and good healthy eating habits and strategies. You're creating a system, and when you create a system, you live and you die by that. You live and you die by that system. So if you fail at some point, there's no stopping point. There's no, you have to go back to the beginning or you have to revamp anything or what have you. You just get right back on that system. You, at the end of the month, you're not feeling discouraged if you only lost 10 pounds versus that 15 pounds. You say, no, because this is an ongoing thing, baby. Like, I'm going to be doing this for the rest of my life. So eventually I'm going to lose those additional 5 pounds. But I'm not losing sleep at night wondering and waiting when that's going to happen. Because I have a system going on here. And that system is defining my values. It's defining what I choose to live my life by. It's defining my very nature of who I am. I choose to be this, right? I'm choosing to be this, and I'm not accepting life based off of actions that make me feel comfortable. It's no longer about feeling comfortable anymore. We're so ready to chase comfort. We're so ready to chase bliss. We're so ready to chase what makes us feel good, and we want to hold on to it as much as possible. But what about those times when it really sucked to wake up in the morning to go after what you wanted to go after? To wake up in the morning for that new job that you prayed for. Those practices that didn't feel good, but at the championship game or whatever it is that you were pursuing, it was all worth it. And it didn't feel good throughout the process all the time. I'm talking ligaments and everything is getting torn, tissues getting ripped apart as you're building muscles. I'm talking you refusing to eat certain things and sweets because you really, really, really want to be more fit and live a more healthy life. And it may not feel good all the time to resist that temptation, but that system that you're living by makes it all worth it, right? So chasing comfort disempowers your growth. Yes, you left the relationship. You left the person or a person that's left you, whatever the case may be, that was no longer serving you or was no longer, that it wasn't fitting or it wasn't in alignment with your values. And that period of discomfort sucks. It really sucks. It doesn't feel good and it's not supposed to. Because you're challenging what you thought was one belief system and you're replacing it with another. It reminds me of a quote that says something on the lines of, you don't compete with your existing reality. That's not the goal. That's not the focus. Your focus is not to compete with your existing reality. Your focus should be to create a new reality or a new model for your life, a new model that makes your current reality obsolete. What am I going to put in place right now for what I want for the remainder of my life? What systems am I going to create for myself today in this current moment so that I can go ahead and start implementing those things? Not to compete against what's happening right now, but hey, this is what I want for my life. This is what I'm going to start doing these things and picking away at everything that I said that I wanted to accomplish beginning today. And I'm going to begin to do that over and over and over again. And it's going to become so consistent to where, boom, you're not arriving at a point where you say, okay, Tuesday of 3 months from now, I'm finally doing it. No, this present moment is the only time where you exist anyway. So it's not slaving yourself to the past or the future. You're just saying, right now, I'm going to make daily decisions. Your life is a reflection of daily habits. Every habit, everything that I do is in the pursuit of me accomplishing whatever it is that I want my life to look like. And I'm not competing with what I have faced right now or in the past. The past doesn't exist. But once you start making those daily habits consistent with what you want out of life on the daily, your existing reality becomes obsolete. Everything that you thought that you were holding on to, maybe if it was that person, maybe if it was that weight that you were holding on to, maybe if it was that job that you were holding on to, maybe if it was any circumstance that you felt that you were going to have to go through hell and high water to let go. You don't have to hold on to that anymore. When you create new systems to make that reality obsolete, it no longer matters. Reflect back on your life when you were 12 years old. Imagine your life right now if you're an adult. Imagine that life. Would you still do the things that you were doing when you were 12 years old, making the decisions that you were making and valuing the things that you were valuing and those type of things? No, because you realized that there is a new reality that needed to take place in order for you to catapult yourself to the next level. You knew that for the sake of your even survivability, you needed to change certain habits about yourself so that you can grow. And growth is never fun. It's not always fun. Who said that it had to be fun? Growth is uncomfortable. Imagine how much a plant goes through just to grow into what it is today, or a tree. Growth is very, very uncomfortable. But do you have the courage to withstand those trials that you are set to withstand? Because a pain-free life doesn't exist. I read somewhere that said you have to decide what kind of pain you want, because you can't have a pain-free life. What kind of pain do you want? Ask yourself, if you want to have $1 million, that comes with problems and that comes with pain. Do you want the pain and the problems that come with that? All right, if you choose that and you accept it, then accept that. But don't think that $1 million is going to alleviate yourself from any problems or pain that you ever think that you're going to have in life. You're going to still have issues. But you have to wake up in the morning, instead of asking yourself, what will help you to remain positive? Now, ask yourself, what kind of pain do you want today? What kind of pain do you want to suffer through today? Is this pain that I want to suffer through, is it going to be worth getting to where I need to go? Is it going to be relevant? Is it constructive to my growth? These are the kind of questions you ask yourself. What kind of pain do you want? Define yourself for yourself, by yourself, or you're going to be crushed into other people's realities and ultimately consumed. That's a quote from Audre Lorde, and I think that is relevant to what I'm speaking of. Be who you are. Be courageous enough to be who you are. Be vulnerable with the world. Show up. Allow yourself to be seen. Hey world, this is who I am. Hey, look at me. I would love to see the person that doesn't have problems. Walk up to somebody new and ask them, what kind of problems do you have? It's not an insult. Or what kind of pain are you dealing with? Everybody has them. We are more connected to the universe than we realize and give ourselves credit for. We all go through growth phases and changes, and you have to decide, what are you willing to accept? What are you willing to put up with? What are you willing to make it past in order to live and die by a system of your true and authentic core values?